Long nights just to hit the studio. Now I'm eating steak and shrimp. I ain't eating sloppy Joe. Looking to the mirror, flexing now and in his glow. Bust off like a welcome to the rodeo. I got tattoos on my face, I use that as motivation. I can never get a job, so for my dream I'm dedicated. For a second, lost myself, I was too busy getting busy. Now they see me out in public and be knowing what my name is. All these
And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Minnesota Vikings. Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. They'll run it here. This is Mark Walton. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
He'll drop to throw. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Well, these sacks are really piling up. Last week, it was a half-dozen sacks. And here's one on the opening drive.
And it has the potential to be what we call a gap, a game-altering play. Because, let's face it, you just mentioned 6 sacks last week. Now, if you're an offense and you saw that on tape, you've got to think to yourself, maybe I bring people in, keep them in, and try and protect my quarterback. It didn't work on that play.
Lucky 56. Lucky 56. Watching that body. Gun. Over.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he's able to find Diggs. And they'll get it all the way out near midfield to the 45. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Now a carry for Walton. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. He'll leave it for Hunt, complete. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Throw left side complete. That's Hunt. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 12 more yards there and another first down.
I'm not sure that this play was designed for him specifically, but they got through the progressions and got the ball to him. So second catch on the drive. He may not be a primary guy, but they definitely want him involved, don't they?
Absolutely. This early, the opening drive, as you said, 2 catches. So if they can get him going in the passing game, that should open up his running game too. They'll run with Wall. And only able to muster a couple, down to about the 27.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Play fake. He'll look to throw. His throw caught. What about the foul? And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Stephon Diggs, his second touchdown on the season. And the Vikings take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Carlson now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told, as he's taken down back shy of the 20. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 18. They'll start the drive with a carry by Bell. And not a whole lot to speak of there, as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. Making the stop there, Danielle Hunter.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Again, it's Bell. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. So a 3rd and 9, and 6 defensive backs out there in the dime.
Patrolling the passing lanes.
The give is to Bell. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets this football out shy of the 30 to the 29. They'll run with a former Badger. It's Corey Clement. He takes this from the 30 to the 34.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. On play action, it's Wentz. On the move to his left. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Daniil Hunter in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. A give to Bell. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Not the result they were looking for there on 3rd down. They end up taking a loss on the play. Only person happy now, the punter. Gets to go out there and show Mom that he gets to play in the game.
This will be fielded at the 17. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football. And now out comes Minnesota. And coming up on their second drive of the game, had the touchdown last time out. Now they have the football back. Chance to really seize early momentum.
Feels to me like they had a really excellent week of practice, and it all came together. I bet you it got galvanized in the locker room in pregame. Somehow I think the head coach, his oratorical skills were on point.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
On play action, they'll throw. Gonna let it fly for Rudolph. And the defense loses him. It's complete. And they do finally get him, but he takes it to the 25. A big play there for Minnesota. 44 yards. So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line. Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Left side caught by Diggs. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. A gain of 6 there on 1st. Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Now the Purdue man. This is Akeem Hunt. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 3.
So if I'm an offensive coordinator, there's one thing that I know for sure. This is one of the top 5 teams in the NFL against the run. So when I look at my playlist, I'm probably thinking about throwing it.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. He'll look to throw. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Back at the 26-yard line. Derek Barnett coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it'll be 4th down. Daniel Carlson now for the Viking field goal. On the right hash, it's a 43-yard attempt. Carlson able to put this one through. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So he splits the uprights, and has to be a nice feeling. Right when it left his foot, knew it was good.
Yeah, just like a good three-point shooter in basketball, right? Release the ball, fall back on defense without even looking. You know it's going in the hoop.
And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Now Philadelphia ready to get going on offense again. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. They'll start out on the ground with Bell. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. On the tackle, it's Trey Waynes.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
On second down, here's Wentz. And a reception made by Alshon Jeffrey. And all the way down to the 24-yard line. Wentz finding his favorite receiver, Jeffrey, on a big one. 48 yards. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 24. Now a first down carry by Bell. And not much. Maybe a yard down to the 23.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Two minutes to play here in the first half. More from Minneapolis after this.
Let's go. Great.
Now Wentz throwing on second down. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Ben Gideon coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7. Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. They fake the give. Now Wentz. Looking for Aguilar, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And he'll bring this one back to the 29. Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point because I thought I was going to run out of fingers, all right, because I'm not all that skilled as a mathematician. But you're right. It felt like a matter of time, and you got to think the guys on defense, they couldn't wait for this opportunity after what they saw on tape.
And with the play clock at 5, we're going to get a timeout, as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Gun 90. Gun. Detroit.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Fletcher Cox in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long.
Detroit! Detroit!
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Over the middle, he's got Treadwell. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number one.
Leopard! Leopard! Gun! 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 Over!
Now a play fake here on first down. Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. Mike Bennett. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long.
Watching that, Barney! Gun! 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 Gun!
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure. No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And they will take over at the 29-yard line.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, these are going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They caught the ball free in the backfield.
And he'll get this one down to about the 27. It's Xavier Rhodes there in on the stop.
I think if they want to start getting back into this game, it behooves them to get better on first down.
Yeah, certainly not what they were looking for there out of the opening play of this drive. Wentz to throw on second down. Shakes off the sack. Letting one go deep for the... He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. It's complete to Diggs. And he's brought down after a good game. So we've reached halftime here in Minnesota with the Vikings on top as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the third quarter. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution, or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and that'll make this a 2nd and 13. Now a play fake. Wentz. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Emerson Griffin in there to get him for what will be a loss of 13 yards. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Instead, they go empty backfield as they'll look to throw. And he's got the veteran here. It's Mike Wallace. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on fourth. The Eagles send out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. That's taken on the 25. Whoosh. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we got the
and that's caught inside the 30. A gain of 39 that time.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
Hurry up, here we go.
Here's Walton. They'll be brought down at the 21 after a pickup of 4.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Leopard! Leopard!
He'll look to throw, and he'll find Thielen on the right side. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. They'll run it now out of the gun. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. He'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down.
Under 10, 10. Here they come, hot. Last stop. Leopard. Over.
They'll look to throw. Steps away to his left. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
The kick by Carlson is good. And that'll push the lead up to 13-0. So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the third quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working and call more of that.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from
nowhere to go here. He lost the football. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but if the other team doesn't get it, that's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
On play action, Wentz. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Sheldon Richardson coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it'll be 4th down. The Eagles send out their punter now, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. And taken right on the 30. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. Good starting field position for the Vikings as they have it 1st and 10.
Leopard!
They'll start with Hunt on the ground. Now the ball comes loose, and it's picked up by the Eagles. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line.
Partner, that one looked like it was over. They had control, had the football, and the defense had to make a play in order to keep them in the game. That's exactly what they did.
And now that door ajar, 2-score game, so hold on here, not done in the 4th.
Let's go, Greg.
Bell. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
And a little bit of good fortune there. He wasn't able to get it back, but he did have a teammate on the spot able to retain possession for them.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
And the penalty helps, but not a whole lot. It's still 3rd and long. On 3rd and long, it's Wentz. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Anderson-Dejo. And he will bring this across midfield to the 49-yard line. Thought they had something going there to break that goose egg here in the 2nd half, but to no avail.
Hope was alive until that interception. What a terrific play, taking the ball away after it looked like they were starting a drive.
And now that shutout still standing. You know that's something those defensive guys hold a lot of pride on, too.
No doubt about it. They're excited about where they are in this game.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Nigel Bradham brings him down. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
They go back to Walton. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much, as he's down to the 48. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be third down.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. And able to connect with Barrios. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. First target, first catch, and a first down.
Leopard!
Now Walton. And he'll get down to about the 26-yard line. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
They'll toss it to Hunt, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. The Vikings on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. This from 44 yards out, left hash. Carlson able to put this one through. And that's going to make this a 16-0 ball game. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but they still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
That'll be taken in the end zone. The Red Sea parts, and there he goes. He's at the 30, past the 20. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Mike Wallace with what they'll score a 106-yard return. And the Eagles make some inroads here on that deficit.
Let's go.
So a big play for the Eagles now as they'll go for 2. They'll try and run it in with Bell. But he will not get into the end zone. And that one hurts as it will remain a 2-score game here in the 4th. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. They run again with Walton. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. That second down run a big help as 7 yards leaves him with just a 3rd and 3 now.
And this is an absolutely big 3rd down that's been set up here, partner, and there's no other way to put it. The defense has to get a stop here if they have any hopes of winning this game.
Has to. You said big 3rd down. I'd put the word big in capital letters here. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. A toss play to Hunt. And he loses the football a second time. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
All I can say about this play is that someone's living right. I mean, he's trying to gain yardage, trying to get upfield. Ball comes free. What's that panic that we've talked about oftentimes that you feel when you lose the ball?
You can sense it.
Oh, you can sense it. And somehow he got to it and was able to recover it for his squad.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And across the midfield stripe into Eagle territory. Tackled that time by Sidney Jones. He was close to flirting with that sideline, but able to stay in bounds like his coach wants him to do and keep that clock moving.
Isn't it funny that we're watching this play when we had that discussion just yesterday about this? What do you do in this scenario? What do what's your mindset? It appeared to me that he'd totally forgotten that he needed to stay in bounds, and then the last second, oh no, I better get down. And he ended up doing the right thing. But at that point, maybe close to letting it slip away.
Green 39! Green 39!
They'll run it now out of the gun. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. They'll go screen here to Hunt. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. The Vikings send out their punter as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line. And out now come the Eagles. They might be thinking this is close to a lost cause here. Got to play it out. What do they need to do?
Well, they have a thought process in mind already, but they can't get ahead of themselves. They know that they need to score quickly.
Yep, two-score game.
Onside kick and get the ball back and then score again, but they can't worry about the last 2 points. The only thing that matters is scoring quickly, then they'll take it from there.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Tried to go for the big one there on second down. Now they're likely down to their final 2 plays.
And you know they've got to keep going for the big shot, right? So defensively, you play what they call top down. Nothing behind you. Make everything get completed in front.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. That's into the hands of Wallace over the middle. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for 4th down. One final try now for Wentz. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. And Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for Minnesota, they move back over 500 at 3-2 now on the year. And they'll get to stay put for a few days as they'll host the Dallas Cowboys next week. Meanwhile, for Philadelphia,